So in this video, I am going to explain why Spanish people sound Spanish. So first of all, I'm going to say that this video can be useful for English people that want to understand Spanish people better, but also it can be useful for the Spanish people who want to know what they are doing to sound Spanish and they want to sound less Spanish, if that makes sense. So first of all, the first idea that I want to talk about, the first concept is the idea that every language uses a set of sounds. And in Spanish, there are some sounds, there's a set of sounds, and in English, there's another set of sounds. And therefore, because like the set of sounds that are used in Spanish and the set of sounds that are used in English are different, then that's one of the reasons why Spanish people sound Spanish. For example, there are some sounds that exist in Spanish and don't exist in English. So for example, the ch, the ñ, the ch, ñ, r. Those are sounds that do not exist in English. There are sounds that are not used in English. And on the other hand, there are sounds in English that do not exist in Spanish. So for example, the j, the v, z, the sh, the v, the v sound. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why like Spanish people sound Spanish. However, this is not the only reason why Spanish people sound Spanish. And indeed, this is not the most important people why Spanish people sound Spanish, because two languages can have the same sounds and still people cannot understand each other when one is learning the other language. And this is due to the phonetics of the language. So for example, like the same thing in different languages, the same word can be read in different ways. Even if they are using even if all the sounds are the same in every language, they can use different sounds for the same letters written down. Yeah, so I'm going to give some examples about this. Okay, so for example, in the word character, if a Spanish person reads that word, it could be, the Spanish person would say character, in English, character. And also, for example, an English person will read climb and Spanish people will read climb, because the way of the way the phonetics works, it's different. Okay, I'm going to give more examples about this. If a Spanish person sees like a AW letter combination in English, probably they are going to pronounce it like ow. So for example, they don't say prawns, probably they are going to say prawns or browns, something like that. Yeah, or for example, instead of saying floor, they're going to say flower, something like that. Things of that nature. So AW would be like ow instead of o. Also, AU, for example, in the word audience, English people would read audience. However, Spanish people would say audience. Or for example, in the word author, they wouldn't say author, they would say autor or autor, something like that. So like Spanish people don't have some sounds. So for example, the letter V, they would pronounce it like a letter B. So for example, instead of saying like vet, they could say bet. And that's why this leads to so many doubts, because maybe they are saying like a word, but they are pronouncing it like another word, and that's why like you understand it really well. Or for example, like z, Spanish people wouldn't say like zu, they would say like thu, like with the voice, with the voiceless th, and that's another source of confusion. Okay, also the voiced th doesn't exist in Spanish. So Spanish people wouldn't say the car, they would say the car, the car, the car, the. So they don't say the, they say the. And that's another reason why they sound Spanish. Also, they don't have the sound j, for example, in the word version of conversion. They would say conversion or version, so they would use like an S. And also, like in the sh, the sh sound, Spanish people would say shake. No, sorry, English people would say, like, for example, share. Spanish people would say like share, ser. They wouldn't pronounce the ch like sh, and that's another source of confusion. Also, like, for example, Spanish people don't really distinguish between the and the sounds, between the diphthong and the long short sound. So, for example, two different words like where and were, they could pronounce them the same, like where, something like that. Which is really confusing because it sounds more like the first one, but yeah. Also, they don't distinguish between the vowels I and e, and e. So, for example, fit and feet, the pronunciation that Spanish people would say would be like fit, not fet and feet. So it's a little bit difficult to distinguish. Also, they don't distinguish between the u and the u. So, for example, like they say, like book, and in soon. So they would say, like, in most cases, book and soon. So that's like a way in which, like, maybe some English people struggle to understand them. So it's important to know that Spanish people don't tend to pronounce words, don't tend to pronounce the consonants when they are at the end of the word. So, for example, the important. Normally, it's easy for Spanish people to skip the T and say important, or say like relevant instead of relevant. Yeah. TH voiceless. Okay, also, sometimes Spanish people pronounce the letter C as th, like the TH voiceless. So, for example, instead of accept, they say accept. Instead of acceleration, they say acceleration. And instead of access, they say access. Also, Spanish people in general are not really aware of when we use silent letters. So, for example, they could say basically or basically instead of basically. They could say biologically instead of biologically. Also, for example, doubt instead of doubt, or debt instead of debt. And for example, the other words like with silent letter C. So, for example, muscle and yacht, they could pronounce it like muscle, or judged, something like that. Yeah, for example, they say foreigner or signed, aligned instead of align, foreigner, sign. And this is because, like, they are not really conscious in general, like, at least the people with basic level of silent letters. And these are all the things that I've been learning in order to improve my English. So I hope that you understand a little bit more, like, well, two things, like, if you're English, why Spanish people pronounce things in a certain way, and now you can speak better with them. And if you're Spanish, know those mistakes and go in depth in them. I mean, this video was like kind of short, but you want to go more in depth about these specific issues, then you can go to watch more of my videos, because I've got like videos here on YouTube and on Instagram about this. And yeah, I hope that you find it useful. Yeah, see you next time. Have a week. Bye.